Welcome to Seasoned and Unbothered. We're two women over 50 serving grown women wisdom with a side of humor because we've earned the right to say what we mean and mean what we say. Hi, I'm Bernadette, a proud 58-year-old. Yes, I said 5'8", from Alexandria, Virginia. Recently married, newlywed. Yes, we will talk about that later.
I am Tamika. I just turned 50. Why are we doing this podcast?
Women and women in general just needed the unadulterated truth, the kind I wish someone had shared with me back in my early days.
Yeah, I think that's the same for me. I think that as women, we don't talk about a lot of the issues and things that we've experienced. I think that we tend to keep things to ourselves, especially as Black women. We're often having to be the strong ones. So often when
That's
you have
so
to be
true.
strong, you don't talk about some of the things that don't make you feel strong or don't make you feel good. So I thought that this would be a great platform to talk about some of the things, both good and bad,
That's
that we
true.
all go through as not just women of color, Black women, but all women.
I agree. I don't want this to be, and we hope for this not to be about preaching, but unapologetically bold about the things that we go through and the experiences so that we can,
I think that it can inspire.
inspire and encourage women to be bold and step out in their truth, no matter what phase in life you're in.
So what are some of the things we're going to talk about? What are some of the things that they can look forward to as they tune into us?
Oh my goodness, I can't wait. Marriage. I mean, as a newlywed, I'm so excited. I think in our circle of friends and colleagues that we have a wealth of information that people can use in their own marriage.
Yeah, I think something that we had talked about before even the cameras came on, we talked about menopause.
Oh my goodness.
Talked about friendships.
Yes.
Talked about now that I think I failed to mention I am currently engaged, so I'm no longer dating, but we used to date.
We used to date. Yes, we used to date.
So, which was its own.
And the pros and cons of dating and dating with intentions. If you looking to get married, why waste your time dating people who are not interested in getting married? Just all the pros and cons to dating. Also health, like, are we taking care of ourselves? Are we going to the doctor? Are we having our mammograms? Recently I had someone call me about fibroids and other things that are so common, especially in the Black community, that most people, when they first hear about it, are shocked because they never even heard about it. We don't talk about it. And those are things that we should be sharing with our daughters and even talking to our sons about their prostate, just in general, health, wellness, and taking care of yourself, self-care. Massages and chiropractors and cryotherapy and just all the things that we can do to feel good about ourselves and to take care of ourselves because we're living longer. In the state of this economy, we better make sure that we're taking care of ourselves.
Yeah, and I think this is us having fun. I think there's stuff in pop culture. There's a whole bunch of stuff going
Family
on.
dynamics.
Yes.
Step parents.
What are we watching on TV?
Yes.
Things like that we can always share. That I think it'll be important to kind of share and talk about, especially from a perspective of women over 50. Or
Yeah.
who just turned 50.
And from time to time, we hope to bring in some experts too, because we don't claim to be experts, but we are living our own lives, and everybody's an expert in their own life, right? But what works for me may not work for you, but we hope to share insight from those who are qualified to give you, medical advice, who are qualified to tell you, counselors or different people we want to add to the lives of the people and touch the lives of the people that listen to and participate in our podcast. And from time to time, hopefully we might be able to do call-ins where we can take questions. And, we are also open to feedback because we want to make sure that this is contributing to people's lives. We don't want to just talk like Tamika said. We could be out there enjoying a nice Saturday brisk walk or something, but we're choosing to do this because, again, this is our way of giving back, and it's our way of also expressing ourselves and sharing. As an entrepreneur and a small business owner, we want to talk about that. We want to talk about supporting businesses, small businesses, and supporting women in business, women's conferences when we hear things that are coming up that we think you could benefit from, especially if you're here in the DMV area. But we hope our reach not only go from in this area, we hope it goes across this country and into other countries, because again, we're all women and we all share some of the same issues and concerns about life. And our podcast hopefully going to change your life.
So I want to, just as we kind of close up what we're going to talk about, I don't want to leave out one important topic, and that is sex.
Ooh.
Because, midlife is not boring. Can I say that?
That is the truth. Actually, it gets spicier because you learn a lot more, right? See, so guess what? If you're new in marriage and you learn it from someone who's in their 50s and been married before, because I learned a lot in my old marriage, and I'll tell you about that too. I'm not ashamed of it. I'm not happy about it either, but I'll tell you what, it made me a better person today, and I think it's made me be the best wife that I could possibly be today. So we're going to share that kind of information, because sex is very important in marriage. Sex is very important in relationships, and just how, just a lot of things that you just don't know. And I know I learned a lot of things on my own. I wish someone had told me a few things.
So I have a question for you.
Sure.
So can you tell me what you love about being over 50 and the things that were hard for you, surprisingly hard for you as you hit that midlife?
I think the thing that was hardest for me was not understanding my body and the changes that it was going to make. It's like right now today, when I wake up, I don't know if I'm gonna feel an ache in my back or a crook in my neck. It's just so many things, and I just learned that you have to embrace the changes in your body. You have to love your body, because your body does change. I think I used to be a 10 and I might be an 8 now. But all in all, I just think that was the biggest change for me. Just out of nowhere, you look and you like, wow, I never thought I'd be able to pinch an inch on my body, and now I can. And I'm like, oh my goodness. And I remember also hearing my grandparents and older folks complain about their back, their aching. And I'm like, what is wrong with you? Because I didn't think it would happen to me. And it does happen. And if I knew what I know now, I probably would have really paid attention to yoga and stretching. Yes. And I would have incorporated those things in my life now, because now I want to do those things, but I truly have no desire. And it's so hard to motivate myself to do those things. And the only thing that motivates me to stretch and do some of the things that I need to do is because of the aches that I currently have. But I wish I would have been more proactive in avoiding some of these aches. And I think some of them you're not going to avoid, because with age, you do experience these things. There's it's not a cliche, but an old Bible saying, it says, with wisdom, with age comes grief. And what that means is that the grief comes because you know what's coming. And that's what you feel when you look at your kids and you're trying to explain to your kids. They don't get it. They don't understand because they think they know it all. They know what they know, and they don't know what they don't know. And so, again, I'm hoping that this will help people embrace midlife, turning 50. In a few years, I'll be turning 60. And I don't know. So it's just my body.
Yeah. I would say, probably one of our phones are. I would say that one thing I love about turning 50, it was probably started when I was in my 40s, is just speaking my mind and having no filter, no fluff, being
unbothered.
Yes. I think that is, one of the blessings that come with age is more confidence in who you are, so that not that you don't care what people think, but I care less about what people think. And I feel like I spent a lot of my life caring what other people thought of me.
See, that we're the opposite.
Yeah, and I feel like now, once I hit like my mid 40s, but especially now, I don't care.
See, but we're the opposite. I care more now.
Oh, really?
I do. I care more now because I've always thought, well, I'm speaking the truth and I'm telling the truth. But in infinite wisdom now, I'm realizing that it's not cool to always speak your mind. It's not cool to always say whatever comes to your head. Sometimes sometimes you have to keep it to yourself. If it's not edifying and if it's not lifting someone up.
Yes, I would never speak in a way to, I would say, like, I'm not my mother.
Be careful.
I'm not going to hurt your feelings. But I feel like I can say no.
You can walk in your truth.
Yes, I always felt like I had to say yes to everything. I can now say no and not feel bad about it. You know, if it doesn't sit right with me, if it's something that I don't want to do, if it means...
I still struggle with that too.
I'm feeling like I can do these things now.
Just this morning, one of my clients reached out to me. Mm-hmm. It's Saturday. She reached out to me like 6:30 in the morning. But I responded telling her I'm trying to set boundaries and I'll get to her on Monday. And then I found myself still answering her question. And then we carried on for like 2 or 3 more back and forth text messages. And I was like, you gotta draw the line. You have to be comfortable saying no. And I had to respectfully say again, hey, can we come back to this on Monday? Because I am really trying to say from 5:30 on Friday, I'm not available unless it's an emergency. Mm-hmm. Because we don't need to have a regular conversation 6:30 in the morning on a Saturday. So again, but that's part of also, I think that's something you can learn throughout life, whether you embrace that now or later, but sooner is better because you have to manage people's expectation of you, and you have to also manage it for yourself so you don't feel guilty, mm-hmm. you don't feel bad. I feel bad when I can't go to family functions, but now I'm learning to say, hey, sorry I can't make it. How else can I contribute if I need to? Mm-hmm. And because I have a busy life. I play a lot of tennis, mm-hmm. I work a regular job, and I have a business, and my husband has a regular job and a business. So we are extremely busy. So our time is very valuable. And so I think people have to respect that. And I need to feel comfortable saying, sorry, I can't make it.
And yes. And that's where I feel like I'm finally at that point. And I think I finally realized that because I'm planning a wedding. And if you don't be able to speak up, say what you really want, then it can get out of control. Especially when you're dealing with family members and things like that, and people who have an opinion on stuff that they're not paying for.
Well,
but that's another. But we're
going to talk about that. We're going to talk about that because I just went through a wedding, and I know I went from one number I'm more than double that number.
Oh yeah, we're talking about.
So yeah,
the wedding industry is an industry that I wish I would have gotten into because I would be a millionaire right now.
Well, I don't know. You don't want to deal with all the personalities when it comes to weddings.
Yes.
Other thing is money, though. We want to talk about money. We want to talk about how you handle your finances. And in this economy right now, right, I know a lot of people are stressing and concerned, but we need to be good stewards over, I call it my blessings. It's funny because I remember 20-something years ago, making a certain amount, and I look at where I'm at today, and I thank God all the time. And I was like, and I want to be a good steward over what He's blessed me with and give back and be a blessing to others and still be able to live a comfortable life and think about, we have to now think about when we age, like who's going to take care of us. I see that so much now. I pray and hope that I'm not ever a burden on anyone to take care of me. So I'm hoping that I set things up that I can be taken care of when I get older. And God knows when I do leave this earth, because we all know we will leave one day, I also am so disappointed in how often we got to pass the hat to put someone in the ground or whatever the case may be. I want to be cremated, by the way. But, because I think funerals are overrated too. People spend all that money, right? And people come together for someone they probably didn't even like. I don't know what that's about, but yes, we need to talk about that.
So, you know what I would like to, because we've talked about some things that we are love and that we find surprisingly things that we didn't love about being in our 50s. I would definitely like to invite our audience in the comment section.
Absolutely.
There's some things that they are loving about being in their 50s and some things that they may have some challenges are on.
Yes.
They may not be loving. I would love to hear what they discuss and say in the comments.
That would be great if you could give us one of both. Give us something you really enjoy and something that's challenging for you or that you just totally dislike. Because that's okay too. Yeah. That's okay.
We'd love to hear it. Wow, this is our first.
I know. I'm so excited. Wait, we're going to tell them how it kind of came about. I don't know.
Go ahead, yes.
And even how we met.
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
Let's do that. Where do you want to start? So,
how we met. Okay, I'll let you talk about that.
Did we just originally meet in book club?
We did.
Okay.
We did. And I wasn't
memory,
in the book club. I wasn't in the book club. My sister was in the book club.
Was it the trip that we met first or the book club that we met first? So
I probably came on a trip.
Yeah.
Because I knew you were in I went on a trip that the book club had.
Yeah, so just to give some backstory, I belong to a book club called Book Divas that she named, because I still call it Book Divas.
We are still Book Divas.
It's still Book Divas, and it was a book club that would meet, I think, monthly at first, and then we moved to quarterly. It's changed over time. We were a book club. Not only did we read books together, but we traveled together. We've just really formed a really great friendship where we just like to spend time outside of the book club environment. So we met either at a book club meeting or at
I think it was a ski trip.
A ski trip. And, oh, yes, how we met because we were roommates.
We ended up being roommates once, but I think we truly met when Tamika hosted your book club. I did something for Tanika's birthday, like a wine or something. We had a wine tasting. And I think the whole book club came because it was Tanika's birthday. But you might not remember me from that.
I remember that. I remember we were roommates on a ski trip.
Yes.
And I just immediately liked you. I thought you were funny.
Thank you.
Funny, nice person.
She's really nice.
I just, any person who makes me laugh, I have an attraction.
Well, that wasn't the year I brought the picture, was it?
That is a year.
Oh, okay. Guys, okay, I was heavily in love with somebody, right? I didn't marry him, but I was heavily in love with him. And I thought I didn't think anything strange and I was in my 40s. I was in my 40s then. And I didn't think it was strange to take his picture with me and put it next to the bed. Everyone thought that was strange. But tell me if you think that was strange. I didn't think it was strange. I was just in love. I knew I was going to miss him. And I thought it would be cute to roll over and see his picture.
You know what? I think now, because cell phones weren't like they were today, like with pictures and stuff, I think that now you would have had the picture on your phone, so you may not have needed to do that. I think at that time, I'm pretty sure that was not a real thing. We
didn't take as many pictures. I think phones were popular. We still had phones, but I don't think it was like screensaver with somebody, especially with me, with a man. I just got married and he made my phone. He made my phone cover.
My fiance has not made the phone. He's not made the phone. I haven't made his phone either. I think, and this is a totally different thing. I'm waiting to see who makes the phone.
Okay.
That's my thing. But anywho, so we met that way and we've gone on some other trips. We've been roommates. I don't know if she feels the way, but she's my favorite, one of my favorites. I don't want to say
because we actually roommated a few times on trips.
Because I think that we roommate well together. So we roommated together and just became friends through that. I definitely would say that Bern is more than a friend.
We're like family, y'all. We do holidays together now.
I am an only child, and I feel like over these many, many years, she's become like a sister to me. She's someone that my mother loves.
We love her too.
Her to have such affection for girlfriends, I think says a lot about kind of who she is as a person. So that's how we kind of
that's how we met,
and how we became friends, and then the podcast came along. I'll pass that to you.
I think, well, I have been thinking, as I said, as I recently was married 6 months ago, almost 7 months now, next week. I don't know, it's really been on my heart to be really intentional about making some changes in my life and giving back and being very positive. And I just happened to mention it to my sister, who I think wants no part of this, mind you. She might come on one day, but
Tell her she wants no part of it.
she thinks I'm too much of an open book. But I told her, you learn from, you know what, for me, when you are truly healed and delivered from your issues in your past, I think you can speak totally freely about it. But to each his own. There's nothing wrong with those who choose not to. But I unapologetically am who I am, and I'm not afraid. And I faced all my demons, good and bad. I mean, I'm not proud of everything, but I'll still speak about it, right? I'll still talk about it. But at any rate, she said, you know what? You should talk to Tamika because she want to do one because I'm not interested. I'm like, okay. And I was kind of afraid because I wasn't sure, because I don't, I'm not the best, or what you call it, a speaker, facilitator, whatever. I get very, very nervous. When I was young, I actually had a speech impediment. So speaking in public really frightens the mess out of me. But that's the other thing about me. I try to conquer every fear that I have. And that's another reason why I think, you know what, I'll do this. I may not speak as well, I may not articulate, but I know I'm passionate about whatever I feel or think. And so I can live with it. So bear with me if I say something wrong. And I'm okay. You can correct me if you want. And I will definitely take that not as a criticism because, again, that's an area that I struggled in. So just know that I'm always nervous about speaking. I try to tell people I'm shy. And they say, no, you're not. I say, yes, I am. But I have overcome my shyness and my fears by just doing it. Mm-hmm. It doesn't matter what it is. I had a ex who got me to jump out of a plane, and ever since he did that, you hear all this nasal stuff that you hear from me today. I have never been the same since. And all this came about after that. So I'll never forget him. You know who you are.
I think when Tamika had mentioned your podcast idea to me, I immediately texted you. It was like, hey, would you be interested in doing this together?
You did.
My idea of a podcast was a little bit different. I have a YouTube channel where I talk about being midlife, self-discovery journey, my journey, but mainly around fashion, skincare, and overconsumption. So it's very, very different. So when I was first thinking about a podcast, I was thinking like doing a podcast around that. But I think that this is such a great subject that I can also talk about my thoughts on as we age.
And you can still bring in your fashion. I want you to do that. I think that sounds like those are things I would never do. Yeah. So I think you should bring some of that in.
Yeah. I definitely like to talk about, especially because I still go into an office, more like going in an office, like what people should be wearing, because there's a lot of questions about that. But I do have a passion about overspending, overbuying, overconsumption. I'm pro wearing what's in your closet, not buying too much. I know we can talk about Temu and Shein. We can talk about that at another time, but I have a beef with fast fashion brands. So yeah, that's kind of what I was originally thinking, but I think that this is your idea of kind of a more broader perspective about women in their 50s and over, or even younger, I think is a great idea. So excited.
I'm excited too. I'm very excited. And I just can't wait as we continue to do different episodes. And again, we want your feedback. We want to hear what you want to hear about too. Yep, and we're not afraid to tackle something that we have never even thought about.
There's something we need from them before we go.
Okay, and what's that?
And that is for them to subscribe.
Yes, hit the right down there.
Please give us a thumbs up.
Hell, but when I get into anything, if you know me, you know I jump all in. This is our merch. This is one of our shirts. I have one on, and these will be available. You can hit us up and ask us about it.
You
can order them.
Link.
Yes.
I will include the link in the description of where
They're cute.
Where you can purchase some of our Seasoned and Unbothered podcast merch.
Yes. So
if that's me, I look amazing.
You do. you guys tell us which one's Bird, which one's Tamika. I think the artist, it was really funny because I did not tell him how we look, and I was cracking up. But I would tell you that I'm going to let you guys tell us. You look at it and you tell us which one is Tamika, which one is Bird.
I'd love to hear that.
And check out my earrings, you might know.
And I gotta wear hoops next time.
Yes.
So we have a next episode.
Yes.
Would you like to tell them what the next episode is about?
Okay. Next week on Seasoned and Unbothered, we're going to talk about getting into friendships over 50. Because that's where it really changes. How many of us still have friends from our childhood? Do you still talk to anyone?
Yeah, so we could talk about that.
Yes. Because let's be real, some friendships don't make it past 40s. And that's okay too. And we're talking about making new friends, letting go of old ones, how to protect your peace without the guilt in friendships. And it's honest, it's healing, and a little bit messy. Just how you like it, right? Don't miss it.
Don't miss it. Don't miss it. So we want to thank you for joining us today, and stay seasoned and totally unbothered.